Grizzly bear. Brown bear is a species of bear family. There are 21 different subspecies of brown bear, both living or extinct. Hi guys, the grizzly bear is a subspecies of brown bear. Another species of brown bear is Kodiak, found in North America. Most grizzlies are found in Alaska and Canada, with small population in the western US. Let's explore them.
The bears range from blonde to black in color and have a large, muscular hump on their shoulders. North American grizzlies have protection as a threatened species under the Endangered Species Act.
Meaning of grizzly. They could be interpreted as either grizzly or grizzly gruesome. Grizzlies are surprisingly fast. Though they look big, heavy, and lumbering, they can really hustle, hitting speeds up to 35 miles per hour for short bursts. That's why experts advise to never try to run away from a grizzly. Size. Most adult female grizzlies weigh 130 to 180 kilograms, while adult males weigh on average 180 to 360 kilograms. Average total length in this subspecies is 198 centimeters, with an average shoulder height of 102 centimeters. Coastal bears are heavier than inland bears. One study found that the average weight for an inland male grizzly was around 272 kilograms, and the average weight for a coastal male was around 408 kilograms. How to recognize a grizzly bear? A pronounced muscular hump appears on adult grizzlies' shoulders. Black bears do not have this hump. Aside from the distinguishing hump, a grizzly bear can be identified by a dish in profile of their face with short, rounded ears, whereas a black bear has a straight face profile and longer ears. A grizzly bear can also be identified by its rump, which is lower than its shoulders. A black bear's rump is higher than its shoulders. A grizzly bear's front claws measure about 2 to 4 inches in length. A black bear's claws measure about 1 to 2 inches in length. Range and population. There are currently about 55,000 wild grizzly bears located throughout North America, 30,000 of which are found in Alaska. The rest live in many national parks in the US and Canada, typically Yellowstone National Park. Only around 1,500 grizzly bears remain in the lower 48 United States. Do grizzly bears hibernate? During the winter, grizzly bears descend into a deep sleep called torpor and can go without food and water for over 100 days. However, there is some debate about whether grizzly bears are true hibernators. The body temperature and metabolic rate of bears doesn't decrease to the same extent as hibernators such as squirrels during the winter. This means that bears can emerge more easily from the sleep if threatened by predators. Like other animals that hibernate or go into torpor, bears don't necessarily go entirely without food during the winter. They may emerge from torpor periodically to consume small quantities of food. Grizzly cubs stay with their mom. Female grizzly bears don't have their first cubs, which are born after a gestation period that lasts from 180 to 266 days until they are between 4 and 7 years old. The cubs, which are born tiny, blind, and helpless, weigh only about 1 pound at birth. The sow remains in the den with the cubs for several months until they are large and strong enough to explore the outside world. The mother grizzly continues to feed and protect the cubs for 2 to 3 years and does not breed again until they have separated. Longevity. The average lifespan for a male is estimated at 22 years, with that of a female being slightly longer at 26. Females live longer than males due to their less dangerous life. They do not engage in seasonal breeding fights as males do. The oldest wild inland grizzly was 34 years old in Alaska. The oldest coastal bear was 39, but most grizzlies die in the first year of life. Captive grizzlies have lived as long as 44 years. What is the diet of the grizzly bear? As omnivores, grizzly bears eat a range of plants and animals. Components of the diet may include seeds, berries, roots, grasses, fungi, deer, elk, fish, and insects. In preparation for winter torpor, grizzly bears increase their food intake during the summer in order to put on weight. This is especially important for females as they need sufficient fat reserves to give birth and nurse cubs before leaving the winter den. In Alaska, an important event in grizzly bear survival is the summer migration of millions of salmon from the Pacific Ocean to the mountain streams of their origin. Feeding on these fish helps keep the bears alive during the winter sleep. Grizzly bear predators and threats. Movies and television shows portray grizzlies as aggressive towards humans. However, humans are the greatest threat to the bears. These bears keep to themselves and avoid humans. They will flee from dangerous situations, but will become aggressive when threatened. If animals or humans try to harm grizzlies or their cubs, the bears can become violent quickly and will attack. About half of grizzly cubs do not live to reach adulthood because of diseases, and grizzly predators that include mountain lions, wolves, and adult male grizzlies. Grizzlies and wolves. The grizzly bear uses its keen sense of smell to locate a kill. As the wolves and grizzly compete for the kill, one wolf may try to distract the bear while the others feed. The bear may retaliate by chasing the wolves. If the wolves become aggressive with the bear, it is normally in the form of quick nips at its hind legs. Thus, the bear will sit down and use its ability to protect itself in a full circle. Rarely do interactions such as these end in death or serious injury to either animal. Grizzlies and big cats. Cougars generally give the bears a wide berth. Grizzlies have less competition with cougars than with other predators, such as coyotes, wolves, and other bears. However, when a cougar does stand its ground, it will use a superior agility and its claws to harass the bear. Grizzly bears occasionally kill cougars in disputes over kill. Grizzlies and black bears. Black bears generally stay out of grizzly territory, but grizzlies may occasionally enter black bear terrain to obtain food sources both bears enjoy, such as pine nuts, acorns, mushrooms, and berries. When a black bear sees a grizzly coming, it either turns tails and runs or climbs a tree. Black bears are not strong competition for prey because they have a more herbivorous diet. Confrontations are rare because of the differences in size, habitats, and diets of the bear species. When this happens, it is usually with the grizzly being the aggressor. The black bear will only fight when it is a smaller grizzly such as a yearling or when the black bear has no other choice but to defend itself. Outstanding facts about grizzly bears. They love moths. Although grizzlies enjoy eating many insects, moths are the top of the menu. Researchers have observed that bears are willing to climb to alpine heights at Montana's Glacier National Park in order to feast on the flying appetizers. Grizzlies will turn over rocks and spend up to 14 hours in a day, devouring in excess of 40,000 moths. They can climb trees. It is a myth that grizzlies can't climb trees, though their weight and long claws make climbing difficult, and they need support from evenly spaced branches. Grizzlies can travel vertically if they choose to. They mate with polar bears. In parts of Alaska and Canada, where grizzlies and polar bears converge, there are sometimes rare sightings of what observers call growler bears or peasleys. With large heads and light color fur, they are hybrid super bear birthed from some interspecies mating. Typically, it's male grizzlies who roam into those territories, fighting female polar bears to cozy up with. Researchers believe climate change is one reason the two are getting together. They know how to cover their tracks. When it's come to intellect, grizzlies may not get all the same publicity that bears and whales do, but they're still pretty clever. The bears can remember hot spots for food even if it's been 10 years since they last visited the area. Some have been observed obscuring themselves with rocks and trees to avoid detection by hunters. They do not like to make contact with humans and they often disappear into woods when one approaches them. That's all I want to say for this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.